Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kelly, and in today's video, we are doing another pick a card reading. Today, we're asking Spirit all about who is the one for you. All of my pick a card readings are timeless, so whenever you come upon this video, a message will be ready for you. Before we begin, please give me a big like down below and subscribe to my channel for more pick a card tarot readings just like this one. If you're new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. These are the 4 piles that you can choose from. This is pile 1 with a Hematoid quartz. This is pile 2 with a rose quartz. This is pile 3 with a Carnelian heart. And this is pile 4 with a red Aventurine. I'll give you some time to start meditating on the cards and choose the pile that you feel the most drawn to. Please use your intuition when choosing your pile, and if you feel drawn to more than one pile, feel free to watch multiple piles. There may be more than one message in this video for you today. After you're done deciding, scroll down to the description box or the pinned comment and click on the timestamp to skip to your reading. Tarot is an intuitive and insightful way to read the current energies surrounding a situation. Tarot is an intuitive and insightful way to read the current energies surrounding a situation. If you ever hear something you do not like in a reading, please do not give up or get discouraged. Remember, you have 100% free will over your life, and you can change the course of direction at any time. My intention with these readings is to help gently guide you to a better path for your mind, heart, and soul. So never get discouraged about what you may hear, because it may end up being the activation you need to change course. With that being said, I'll give you some time to start meditating on the cards. You can close your eyes and hover your hands over the screen to see if you feel any sensations on a certain pile, or you can simply meditate on the cards and choose a pile based off of your gut feeling. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the Hematoid quartz, this is going to be your reading. Let's go ahead and get into your tarot cards first. All right, we're getting Judgment, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, lots of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, and the Magician. Okay, so for your tarot story, I'm definitely seeing somebody very grounded here because we have all these pentacle cards, but let's go ahead and actually talk about the Hematoid quartz and why you may have been drawn to the Hematoid quartz for this particular reading. So this is all about who is the one for you. So with this Hematoid quartz, it's telling me if you chose the Hematoid quartz that the energy around the one for you is deeply tied to healing old wounds, rebuilding your strength, and learning how to trust yourself again after everything that you have survived so far in life. Why do I say this? Because the Hematoid quartz has really deep meanings. The Hematoid quartz is typically talking about things like emotional healing and emotional grounding, also about transmuting pain into wisdom. It helps us stabilize after trauma or shock, and it also helps us rebuild our confidence from the inside out. I really love this stone, the Hematoid quartz. It's also called a fire quartz. It is connected to the root and the sacral chakra, our bottom 2 chakras. The root chakra is all about safety, stability, and embodiment. And the sacral chakra helps us with any emotional processing and intimacy after wounds. It's also where our creativity comes from. With those 2 chakras being connected to the Hematoid quartz, I see that this person can help you heal root and sacral chakra themes in your life. Furthermore, the Hematoid quartz is connected to certain zodiac signs. It's connected to Aries and Scorpio, which is ruled by Mars and Pluto. The energy here is themes about rebirth, survival, and strength. Mars and Pluto are very, very intense planets, and they have intense undertones, including having power reclaimed after any type of crises. Scorpio is naturally in the 8th house, which is our house of deep transformation, rebirth, and also rules over the death card, which we didn't get here on the table, but it is all about that rebirth after something intense happens in your life. So potentially you could be meeting this person after a crisis, or you meet them during a crisis and they help you and inspire you to get out of that. The spiritual use of a fire quartz, if you wanted to use it in your life, is to help you release any of that stored emotional pain from your body. And it also helps you anchor in any insights that you're getting from the divine, so it doesn't just stay in the mental plane. You can actually anchor it down here on the physical plane and use it for action. because Mars is all about that action. Aries is all about that action. This is a really ideal stone for people that are trying to rebuild their self-worth after any type of betrayal or burnout. So maybe in potential past relationships, you have dealt with betrayal, or even just feeling like you give way too much in relationships to the point of burning out. So all in all, this crystal already tells me that the one for you isn't about rushing into romance. It's really about who you become after a major crisis or a major awakening, that you begin to attract this person into your life. All right. So that is just for the crystal portion. Let's go ahead and now dive into the tarot cards. So we start off with the Judgment here, which is also connected to Pluto and fire energy. So this is another repeat of transformational energy here. With Judgment starting us off here, Judgment really shows me that this connection comes after a huge internal awakening, a moment where you have decided that you were done repeating the past, whether this is past type of relationships or past patterns that you've seen in your own life. So the Judgment is typically talking about things like obviously judgment, rebirth, inner calling, absolution, letting go of the past, and assessing the situation for what it is. So this is honestly telling me that you're going to meet this person after a soul level wake up call. This is honestly some deep rebirth after karmic cycles. This is also giving me the energy of you or the other person being able to let go of any past identities that were formed through painful experiences. With Judgment coming up, this isn't just a random person that's coming into your life. This is somebody who meets you after you chose to change your life. You chose to throw away any old identities that you might have had, and you chose to step into a new, better aligned identity for yourself. Let's go ahead and move on to the Nine of Pentacles then. The Nine of Pentacles is talking about Venus in Virgo energy, and this is telling me that this person is also going to be practical, because the Nine of Pentacles symbolizes things like abundance, luxury, self-sufficiency, and financial independence. This person might literally have Virgo in their chart, or even the placement of Venus in Virgo in their chart. They seem to be somebody that is very self-sufficient. They may have multiple streams of income. They may have financial independence. They may be a business owner. This is showing me that this person is self-sufficient. However, you may be somebody that also becomes incredibly self-sufficient before meeting this person. And if that is not the case, when this person comes in, they may inspire you to become more self-sufficient, confident, grounded, and comfortable with being alone. Truly, a good relationship is going to give you the freedom to find your own individual self, not have you being tied or confused or disoriented in a relationship, which is some things I see that you might have gone through in the past before. With this Nine of Pentacles coming up here, it's showing me that your relationship with the one is going to be full of independence, healthy independence, self-respect, and respect for the other person, as well as good standards that are rooted in self-worth and not scarcity. Maybe I just heard standards on the floor. Maybe before in the past when you were trying to play the field, that your standards were literally on the floor and you were thinking through a scarcity mindset. However, this relationship, your standards are up high and you're no longer in a scarcity mindset when you meet the one. This is a really important message here. I'm sensing that you're no longer looking for somebody to rescue you, and this connection is not here to rescue you either. This is somebody that meets you where you are after you've done some of that major healing, because we did kick off with the Judgment. So this means that you went through a complete rebirth, letting go of the past before meeting this person. All right, let's move on to the next card here. We got the Ten of Pentacles. I really like how there's a 9 and a 10 of Pentacles here. This is actually Mercury in Virgo. And remember, this is Venus in Virgo. So I'm really sensing really earthy energy from this person. Again, I said that in the very beginning because we also have the 7 of Pentacles here. So this person literally may have Virgo in their chart, or you may have Virgo in your chart. And what this tells me with the 10 of Pentacles coming up is that this person is aligned with long-term stability. So this person wants a legacy. This person wants a family and a shared future. They want to work towards those things with you, because the 10 of Pentacles is talking about wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, and contribution. So this is going to be maybe not apples for apples equal partnership here, but this person does want a power couple type of dynamic, and I sense that you can really contribute that as well. You're going to be able to contribute your strengths, and they're going to be able to contribute their strengths. So you will grow together in abundance, luxury, and wealth as you guys get together. So with this being said, this is also showing me that right when you meet this person, you're going to be able to tell that there is long-term partnership potential with this person. They are different than other people that you have met. This person is not flighty at all. This person is somebody that really values an equal partnership. That's definitely what I'm seeing here. So this person really is looking for somebody that has shared values around security and contribution. Again, not an apples to apples equal contribution. If maybe like this person makes way more money than you, for example, they don't expect you to make as much as them. That's not what they mean. But the fact that you have shared values of building a long-term legacy and having something to pass down to your children together, that is something that they want to see in a partner. So beyond security, beyond material things, I'm also sensing that this person wants equal contribution in the emotional realm and in the spiritual realm. They want to have that emotional, spiritual connection with somebody as well. This is not just about material sustainability, even though that is honestly something that's very important to them. They want to feel they are very connected to you emotionally as well, or they are not going to be able to move forward. So with this 10 of Pentacles coming up here, this isn't just romance. The one for you isn't just going to bring you romance in your life, gifts and stuff like that. Of course, they have the means to do so. I could definitely see that in the cards. But this is also somebody who fits into the structure of your future life. Structure is a very important thing for this person because of all of these pentacles here. This is somebody that wants to have a plan and goals that you're going for rather than just willy-nilly trying to YOLO life and see what happens. This person has a 5-year plan is what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and move on now. We have the 7 of Pentacles next, a lot of pentacles. This one is actually Saturn and Taurus energy, and it talks about a long-term view, sustainable results, perseverance, and an investment. So they might invest heavily in you. They might invest heavily in the results in their life to produce a sustainable result. And they might even have long-term views about everything. So this is definitely somebody that does not enter into relationships for short terms. They are also just not somebody that tries to even enter a job or a business venture in the short term. They have to see a long-term result or potential with those things or a person to go forward. So this is also telling me that this relationship grows slowly and intentionally. It's going to take patience and a mutual investment for this to grow, because that is what this person is looking for. Saturn and Taurus energy is all about the energy of taking things slowly, having time management, and really being able to take your time building something so it stands on a firm ground rather than just, again, building things and not really knowing where you're going with it. So also this could be a slow burn. You could be friends first, or they might want to observe you first, whether that is, again, through a friendship circle, some type of network circle. Maybe you guys work together. I could see that as well because there's a lot of pentacles on the cards. So this person wants to build something that actually lasts. This is not somebody that takes relationships lightly because they know that they're marriage minded. So choosing long-term fulfillment is really important to this person over any type of instant chemistry or lust or anything that gives the energy of just for fun. This person is really looking for a life partner. So this person is not going to rush you. They're going to really respect timing here. And I feel like they're going to give you a lot of patience and time to decide on them because they want you to choose them out of your own free will. So again, I really do sense a slow burn here. All right, so with that being said, let's move on to the 10 of Swords. So the 10 of Swords is Sun and Gemini energy. So this person may enter your life after you've had a painful ending that has completely changed you and how you trust. So I know that's a harsh message, but we did start with Judgment. So I'm sensing that in the past, you might have had some rock bottom moments. You may have went through some betrayal or some type of emotional collapse. You may have even went through a moment where you realize that you have been self-betraying yourself. That's very common. So you may have started to end any type of self-betrayal patterns before meeting this person. And maybe this is why you take your time with this person and getting to know them, because you have realized that things in your past have keep coming up in a sense, or like they'll come up again and again when you're trying to get deeper into this relationship. But I do have faith that you're going to be able to find that balance and have a perception and objectivity towards this relationship, that you won't keep going into the past and repeating any patterns from the past. You do have to heal. And that's why I sense that feeling of this person is going to give you patience and give you time to heal from those things so you can enter this relationship as pure as you can, at least. And I just want to say that I really encourage you to realize that any pain that you went through in the past was not any type of punishment. It was there to teach you something. You're allowed to take as much time as you need to clear that out of your energy field before you move on to the next person. And I really do genuinely think this person is going to give you that time before rushing into any type of relationship. This person is not a rushing type of energy. There will be some up and downs in your own emotions with this 10 of Swords coming up, but it's understandable because you went through some type of crisis or a loss or even had some type of deep wounds. So this is somebody I'm also sensing that would help you with those things if you were to be vulnerable with them and tell them what you went through. I do think that they have good advice for you. This person also may have gone through those types of things before meeting you, and so that's why they want such a solid, real relationship. They're no longer going towards things that they sense might betray them. because they might have also gone through those deep wounds, betrayal, loss, and some type of painful ending on their side. So with that being said, we move on to the Magician now, and this is Mercury and air energy, and it talks all about manifestation, resourcefulness, power, inspired action, creativity, and success. So obviously I talk about manifestation a lot on my channel, and something about manifestation that I like to talk about is you can't just think a manifestation into reality. Even though visualization is important, inspired action is so much more important. For example, you can have a whole business plan. It could be the best business plan ever written, but if it's just going to stay a business plan and you're not going to take the action towards it, then it will never actually manifest. So there needs to be the thought, the emotion, and the action that is tied to manifesting. So you need all of those things to be able to manifest. And this person, I feel like, is a major manifestation for you because you've gone through so much that you know what you want going forward. This connection is also giving me the energy that it's going to help you restore any power that you have lost in things that have betrayed you in the past or situations that you've gone through in the past. So this relationship is going to help you remember that you have the free will over your life and you get to choose how your life goes. Again, this is all about that power. Even creativity and success is connected to the Magician here. So this is telling me this relationship is going to have conscious manifestation. Whether that means that you both have the alignment of goals or even alignment between your minds, your hearts, and your actions. You're working towards the same thing is what I'm trying to get at. And this is giving me the energy that you guys have confidence in each other, rooted in trust for each other and self-trust in yourselves. So I'm not sensing that you're waiting for the one. You're really creating all the perfect conditions for you to meet this person and attract them to your life. All right, so that's all I have for you for the tarot story. Let's go ahead and move on to the oracle cards now and see if we can get any other supporting energies here. All right, so we're getting first quarter moon in Cancer, push through any insecurity. That's exactly what I was saying. I felt like that right here. You were going through something before you met this person, and so sometimes insecurities can come up, especially if this person is coming in hot. Well, they're not coming in hot. There's a lot of pentacles here, but they're coming into your life with this long-term view. They may be very abundant. They seem to be somebody that has a good head on their shoulders. So you might be a little bit insecure going into it. However, this card is really saying your biggest block in love right now is not timing, it's self-doubt. Any type of insecurity that you might have. So you may be insecure about potentially emotional vulnerability. You may have a family wounds surfacing when this relationship comes up, or past betrayals or hurts. And through this card, I'm really getting the message from Spirit that you're encouraged to learn how to self-soothe instead of self-sabotage. Everybody self-sabotages. Actually, the saboteur is an archetype that we all have, and it's really interesting to learn that. We all have tendencies to self-sabotage our lives, especially when we feel like we don't deserve the good things that are happening to us. So this is something good coming into your life. Learn how to self-soothe rather than sabotage this connection. This card is also reminding me of the third eye and the energy of trying to see beyond the illusion of fear, because fear is false evidence appearing real. Your fears that this would repeat patterns, your fears that this might not work out, etc., is what is stopping you. Trying to work through those insecurities is important. You are totally safe being seen, you are safe being vulnerable, you're safe to love, etc. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. We're getting the snake growth and renewal, number 20 here. That is 2 plus 0 is 2. So it is a harmonious number and a number about balance. So you're finding that balance after going through things. Again, this is really telling me rebirth energy, and this is also good for rebirth. This is all tying in together and showing me that you're growing so much as an individual. And so when you meet this person, you're going to continue that growth journey. With the snake here, it's showing me that the one for you arrives after you have shed your old skin, which I've talked about earlier when we were talking about rebirth and judgment. You have outgrown the version of yourself that tolerated receiving less, that tolerated betrayal or disrespect, etc. This is giving more energy towards that death and rebirth cycle that I was talking about. Remember earlier I was talking about Scorpio energy and the death card when it didn't even come up? Maybe I was sensing that this was going to come up. This is showing me that you have released any outdated survival strategies, and now you are reclaiming your power through transforming yourself. And the truth is, you're not going to meet the one until you release the skin that no longer fits you. Release that identity that no longer fits you and allow yourself to grow and renew. Let's go ahead and move forward. We're getting Midas, Miser. The light attributes for this archetype says entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold, delight in sharing life's riches. Cute. And then shadow attribute says hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. That may be your energy or their energy. This is very tied with the 9, 10, and 7 of Pentacles here. What this is telling me is this person is financially abundant and secure. However, they may at times feel like they need to keep building, which is why they like goals and a long-term view. There's a lesson here about balance between protecting yourself and opening your heart is what I'm getting at that. And also just teetering between maybe spending and saving as well. So obviously wealth is something that this person is interested in, but the wait for emotional resources and material resources are in need of balance. So the shadow here, the hoarding love and control through fear, really is a signal. Be open with your love, because I sense that sometimes when past things come up, past insecurities come up, you might hoard your love and try to control the situation through fear, trying to avoid being hurt again through controlling the situation or trying to control the situation. But on the light attribute of this, you could be very generous, creative, and abundant sharing, or this person could be very, very generous, creative, and abundant sharing on their end. So honestly, the one for you with this card coming up won't give you that energy that you need to guard your heart, guard your resources, guard anything. They'll really meet you in that mutual area. They are gonna be very willing to give you whatever you're willing to give. They want an equal partnership again. All right, so let's move on. We have the Coral Foundation. I was talking about foundations a lot. I was talking about how they want to build a healthy foundation so it's not going to crumble. And what I'm really getting out of the coral is that they also might be quite sensitive, because I'm just thinking about coral reefs and how they say coral reefs can be sensitive to certain types of sunscreens and other chemicals. So I'm really sensing that because they're sensitive, because they want that deep foundation, that this relationship is really about building something real, slow, and lasting. So they don't mind taking their time if it means that it is going to be on a good foundation, that it's going to be lasting. So this person is definitely somebody that has a lot of patience. This person maybe has a really good community as well, because when I think of a coral reef, it is a large community that interacts with that coral reef, and people try to protect a coral reef because there's a lot of different fish that live within that, and it's a whole ecosystem. So this is really showing me that they like to build foundations in their life that support growth, and they will help you support your own growth. I'm sensing that it's somebody that is going to support you in the endeavors that you choose to take on in life, which is really, really positive, because we all need a cheerleader in our corner, and that's definitely what this person is going to provide for you. I'm also sensing with this card coming up that neither of you are going to be building out of survival. You're building on stability with this foundation card coming up. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Wolf Spirit Family, number 51, 5 + 1 is 6. So that's a very harmonious number, you guys. And with this family card coming up, I'm actually sensing this person may be very family oriented. They may be close to their family. They may want a family of their own. That's maybe why they're building so heavily, because they want to be able to provide for a family of their own. They probably have very good connections with their own family. So this person is potentially either hangs out with their family a lot, lives close to their family, or visits their family a lot, potentially is close to their siblings if they have siblings. I'm really sensing that family is a top priority for this person with this coming up. And wolf packs are always together in a pack, and they are very likely to be very protective over their family. So this is something that's very important, because one day if you choose to have children with this person, you will become their family, and your children is obviously going to take top priority in their lives. So with that being said, this card is showing me that the one for you also feels like family. They're going to be safe, loyal, and emotionally present for you, which is something that is such a cornerstone of life. So you might sense when you meet this person that they're a part of your soul tribe. You might feel before you even get into a romantic relationship with them that they are somebody that you would consider as chosen family. And also I can sense that, of course, the protection element that I mentioned just now, but also I sense healthy communication, because inside healthy families, they're always going to communicate even about hard things. So they don't let things go under the rug. So even though this is kind of a very snowy backdrop on this card right here, I really don't sense that this connection is going to isolate you in any way or put you out in the cold. I'm actually sensing that it's going to bring you towards home, give you that sense of home. So pile number one, the one for you isn't a lightning bolt, super fast, super passionate type of energy. This is all about safety, stability, taking your time, potentially a slow burn, and choosing love from wholeness instead of any past wounds that you or the other person might have. I definitely see the one comes in after a major awakening, which we can see with the judgment here, and meets you in your independence, not through neediness. So this is a connection that is going to grow slowly, intentionally, and honestly. This really feels like somebody that is chosen family, and this person is honestly going to reflect the best version of you that has survived and healed through painful experiences. You did not go through everything that you went through just to repeat the same story. So long as you work through any insecurities that you might have had from the past, I see this as a very blossoming relationship that is beneficial for both people. So pile number one, that's actually all I have for you today. What a lovely reading. I really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. If you did, give me a big like down below and comment pile number one, or comment down below whatever resonated in this reading for you. I'd love to see your comments. When you interact with the reading, you pull the energy closer to you, so make sure you interact below. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new pick a card tarot readings just like this one every single week. So I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time, bye, pile one. Hi, pile two. If you chose the rose quartz heart, this is going to be your reading. Let's go ahead and get into the tarot cards. Oh, we're getting the lovers right off the bat. Nice. And then we're getting the conqueror of swords, conqueror of coins, seven of wands, two of cups. What a lovely, wait, the lovers and the two of cups. Stop. Okay, so obviously this is going to be a very lovely reading. I like this energy so far, but before we dive into the tarot cards, let's go ahead and talk about the rose quartz heart and why you may have been attracted to the rose quartz heart. The rose quartz is really all about unconditional love, emotional healing, heart safety, and learning how to receive love, not just give it. The rose quartz is connected to the heart chakra, which is all about love, compassion, and emotional truth. I sense that there's going to be a lot of love, compassion, and emotional truth in this relationship, especially with the lovers and the two of cups. Like, hello, that is so cute. And the zodiac signs that rose quartz is connected to is Cancer and Taurus. This is again about that emotional safety and consistency. And the planet that the rose quartz is connected to is Venus. So that again is love, attraction, and values. So the rose quartz can really help us soften any emotional defenses. It helps us heal patterns of guarded love and also helps support vulnerability without self-abandoning yourself. So this pile is really not about chasing love and looking for love. It is really about choosing the right kind of love and being able to identify it when it comes into your life, matter of fact. With that being said, that is just the rose quartz portion. Let's go ahead and get into the tarot cards. So we start off strong with the lovers here. So this is actually air energy and Gemini energy. So at the core of this relationship, this connection is about conscious choice, choosing love from alignment and not impulse, because the lovers is all about values aligning, choices, decisions, maturity, relationships, love, and harmony. So those are all the themes with the lover. That is a beautiful reading for who is the one for you. So this person really reflects who you are becoming and not who you might have been before. So I see that your guys' values will definitely be aligning. You guys are both emotionally mature and helping each other become even more emotionally mature, not avoidant or not anxious in love. And your decisions in this relationship are really rooted in truth rather than fear. So that is so lovely to start off with. Let's go ahead and talk about the Conqueror of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. So actually we have three conquerors. So you basically have Prince Charming on the table here, and we'll get into that soon. So the Knight of Swords starts first. This is Taurus and Gemini energy. This is going to be a very ambitious person, a person that is quite action oriented, driven to succeed, and fast thinking. So this person could have really direct communication. They probably have really good momentum in their life when they have a goal, and they are very clear on what they want in life as well. So they are somebody that challenges stagnation. They don't like stagnating. They don't like idling in life. They always are moving, thinking of something new, trying to achieve something new. I really do see that this person is quite ambitious, and I sense that this person really cares about conversations as well. This is not somebody that likes to brush things under the rug. They are going to definitely be talking about things, which really also ties to the rose quartz, because you need that emotional safety to be vulnerable. So this is somebody that's going to provide you with emotional safety so you can open up, and they will also talk to you about situations even if they're tough. So that is so lovely to see. And then now we're moving on to the Conqueror of Coins, which is the Knight of Coins. So at the same time, this person is somebody that is reliable. They're also slow, steady, and committed to showing up. So when I was saying they're fast thinkers and they have a lot of momentum, I think that's towards their goals. But however, with you, if you need time, they are going to be patient with you. So they're going to be slow and steady in that regard to building something with you. This is a person that's also going to be very consistent. You might notice this person has a lot of routines in their life, whether it's they eat at the same time every day or work out at the same time every day, etc. This is somebody that really thrives off of routines. And this is actually Leo and Virgo energy here on the table with the Conqueror of Coins. So they might have those signs in their chart as well. This person has an energy of putting long-term effort into things and isn't really into instant gratification. They almost feel more satisfied and gratified if they put effort in over a long period of time. So I'm sensing that this is a passionate relationship. However, it is anchored in a sense of responsibility, because the Knight of Coins, or any of the coins really, is talking about earthly things, which is responsibility, foundations, business, stability, even the physical stuff, and career. I'm really sensing that this is a well-rounded person. And let's go ahead and move on. We're getting 7 of Wands. So this is actually Mars and Leo energy, very, very fiery energy. This person is going to be somebody that likes challenges, likes competition, is very protective over you, and loves to persevere through life. So we literally have all the elements here, and also the Lovers and the Two of Cups. This is insane. So swords, coins, wands, and cups. So we might as well could have got the Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands also has a lot of energy, passion, inspired action, and adventure in their energy. The Knight of Wands can actually be a little impulsive, so we don't get the impulsive energy out of the 7 of Wands here. Maybe they're not an impulsive knight, and they're actually not very Knight of Wandsy. But with that said, we still have the 7 of Wands here. So this shows me that this person is going to be very ready to protect you. They're going to be protective of the bond, your boundaries, and your standards. They're going to respect your boundaries, respect your standards, and stand up for you when needed. This person might even inspire you to stand your ground, because this person is somebody I really sense that can stand their ground when they believe that they have something real on the line, and they like to defend things that matter. They don't just get into petty fights. I'm saying that they defend what matters. For example, if they are really all about loyalty, because Leos are very loyal people, they're going to speak up when somebody is disloyal or trying to lie. They're going to cut people out if they go against their values. So not everyone is going to get access to this person, especially if they see the person that they are trying to correct is acting out of alignment with their values. So what I'm seeing here is the one for you actually doesn't shrink under pressure. They're very up for a challenge, up for competition, and they will stand with you by your side. This is somebody you want in your corner, absolutely. So that is so lovely to see. Let's go ahead and move on to the Two of Cups now. The Two of Cups is a lovely energy. It is Venus and Cancer energy, and that's very soft, loving, nurturing. So what I'm sensing out of this is the love between you two is a mutual love. There's going to be equal give and take and equal emotional reciprocity. And that is so lovely to see, because sometimes we get in one-sided relationships, give too much in relationships, take too much, etc. But this is truly going to be an equal give and take. The Two of Cups typically talks about unified love, partnership, and a mutual attraction. So you may also be very mutually attracted to each other. You might both be each other's type, which is really, really lovely. So there's going to be emotional safety in this relationship, like I've already mentioned before. However, a really important section here is that you will mutually choose each other. It is so lovely to see two people having their ideal person essentially as their one. There's really a sacred partnership energy here on the table, and I'm getting like the tingles, full body chills, because this is a once in a lifetime type of relationship entering your life, and that is so lovely and beautiful to see. So you really don't have to convince this person of anything. The attraction is truly mutual, and I feel they're very impressed by you and very attracted to you. Let's go and move on. We're getting the Conqueror of Cups as well. So not only is this person very ambitious and action-oriented and also patient and stable and hardworking, they're also going to be somebody that is romantic. They are quite literally Prince Charming here. They are very creative. They have a lot of charm. They might be very charming people towards everybody in their life, which is a good thing because you want your person to be well liked. They might have also a really good imagination. They value beauty, and even the Knight of Cups talks about proposals. So maybe you'll have a very romantic proposal as well. So when this card comes up, I'm really seeing that romance is really important to this person. There's going to be gestures, there's going to be tenderness, and a real emotional presence for you. This person has pretty much it all. This person is going to be very creative with their expression of love. This person is going to be emotionally open, and this person may have really cute creative proposals for you, invitations for you, and heartfelt communications. I'm seeing handwritten letters. I'm seeing the vows that they write for you and speak to you on your wedding day. Is going to be no dry eyes in the room. This person really courts you emotionally, not just physically and not just with their mind. Also able to buy you nice things and provide for you, and also just has all that creativity in their romance, in their gestures. So this is lovely energy. This person's going to sweep you off your feet, to be quite frank. So that's all I have for the tarot story portion of the video. Let's go ahead and move on to the oracle cards. All right, full moon in Capricorn, take a reality check. So with this card coming up, it's really connected to the Conqueror of Coins for me. I feel even though they're very lovey, they seem to value relationships a lot, they also are able to take reality checks on their life. This card is really encouraging both of you to look honestly at love. So without any illusions, without any self-punishment, without any fears, but it's just talking about emotional realism, accountability, growing through effort, and not fantasy. So what I'm getting out of this is that you guys might have your own lives before meeting, and then this connection is so strong that potentially you guys get a little lost in the sauce when you guys are first in that honeymoon phase. However, they're very good at pulling themselves back into reality and realizing that they need to be accountable for their life. They need to continue to keep growing through their own efforts and not just live in fantasy land, which is the honeymoon phase. Even though they want to put a lot into the relationship, and they will also have that other side of them that realizes that being strong is important, having structure is important, and having discipline is important. So that is the reality check part. And also, if you have your moon in Capricorn, you're a realist. You're typically somebody that really thinks about things long term and quite strategic. So this person is also going to teeter on dreamland and honeymoon phase, but also always have reality checks. So they also realize that real love is going to require effort. It's not just a bunch of romantic gestures. It is going to be real effort at times. Hard things might come up, but it isn't going to feel suffering because of the rose quartz here and all the emotional availability of this person. I sense that they will take and face challenges, as we could see in the Seven of Wands, head on. So they aren't scared to persevere through a challenge. Let's go ahead and move on. Perfect, exactly. Determination, perseverance again. So that's the same as this. Number 7, spiritual number, and the polar bear. All right. Okay, actually, you know what, with the polar bear, I'm not sure if they're still on the extinction list or soon to be, but they were at a risk of being extinct. And I've watched a documentary about just polar bears. The stuff that they have to go through to fend for their little cubs is insane because the ice caps are melting and they are on harsher terrains than ever before, and they still somehow make it through. The strongest of the strong do, and it actually hurts my heart right now because obviously they go through some very tough things to fend for their young, and I'm really sensing that this is so totally connected to the Seven of Wands. This person is somebody that wants to have their own family. I'm really seeing that, and that they will go through hell and high water to provide for that family, to protect that family. And they have a lot of determination and perseverance to provide for their families, and even you, if you want that. So if this is something that aligns with your own values, I really sense that this connection may not come easily, but it's definitely worth enduring for. So you guys will go through trials and tribulations as well with this card coming up, because I know I was making it seem it was just a perfect love, but the truth is no relationship is perfect. So I do sense that you guys will have times where you need to go through things together. You will fight together. You might even have fights with each other. Of course, every relationship might have a fight, but the part I'm seeing here is that even when times get tough, you guys have each other's backs and you guys are ready to fight and keep persevering so you can build the love that you want and the good foundation that you've always wanted. What this is also giving me is you guys will persevere through any type of hard times, any type of goals that you guys have that you're trying to achieve. You will persevere through all of those, as well as having emotional resilience in this partnership and being able to adapt through hardship together. So the love here is forged through your consistency, your determination, and your effort, not just convenient, not just la la land, honeymoon phase, etc. It's gonna get real sometimes. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. We're getting the Virgin archetype. Light attribute says maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, shadow attribute says fear of intimate union. Okay, so maybe this person in the past kind of feared intimate union. Maybe they didn't jump into relationships because they know how much they give in relationships, and that is something that's actually very admirable to see because they take it seriously. And this is also a very pure person. They could be a Virgo because Virgo is connected to the Virgin archetype, and this archetype really speaks to protecting your energy, as well as this person being very interested in protecting their energy, not out of any type of fear, but out of respecting themselves because they know how big their heart is, that they choose very wisely. So this is giving me the energy of the beginning of your relationship is very sacred because this person is cautious. So when they choose you, it's for a reason. They may have seen you go through X, Y, and Z, or know how your friends talk about you, etc. So they have this intentional intimacy with you when they try to enter a relationship with you. And also, I'm sensing not just purity of the heart and spirit, but they seem to be somebody that's emotionally pure. And also maybe the way that they show their creativity towards you is pure, because again, we have the Knight of Cups here, which is all about that creativity, romance, charm. So all of those things that they present you with, the gestures that they present you with, are going to be very pure-hearted. However, again, the shadow side is a fear of vulnerability regarding the heart. So they may have been very selective in the past or scared to open up. However, there's something about you that has them opening up quite well. And this person is somebody that really honors your pace in relationships as well. I don't think they would want to rush you or pressure you into anything with this card coming up. Let's go ahead and move on. We're getting the Moose, authority. They may be in a position of authority potentially at work or in their family or with their friends, where they just ask the people around them to stand confidently in their truths. Encourage the people around them to be in alignment with their truths. So this gives me the energy of having a lot of self-respect for themselves and other people as well. They have a calm authority about them, and they also are somebody that has leadership abilities without dominating other people. They have true leadership abilities where other people want to listen to them, want to follow what they say, and trust what they're saying. So that takes a lot of diplomacy. So sometimes people think a strong leader is going to be the loud one or the one that has a lot of power and force. However, the true leaders are the ones that everybody wants to follow, not forced to follow. So that's the energy of this person. So I really sense that with this card coming up, you're not going to lose yourself in this connection, even though I felt there was going to be challenges and you'll be swept off your feet and there's going to be a strong honeymoon phase here. This person is actually going to encourage you to strengthen up your spirit, and they're going to really have that authority and leadership ability for you to keep improving and growing in life. So that is lovely. Obviously, this is going to be somebody that is very, very beneficial to just know, even to their friends. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. We're getting Willow Spirit, flexibility. 4 plus 8 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. So this is a number of change. Number 3 is very feminine as well. So with this being said, the flexibility card is telling me that this person is willing to change and adapt to life as needed. The flexibility card is really telling me that this love is going to require that adaptability. So you're going to need to bend together at times, especially through potentially hard things or hard terrains that you might have to go through with these two cards coming up, instead of breaking apart when those hard things happen. So adaptability is going to be very, very important in this relationship. Flexibility is also important. They could be somebody that is quite busy. So with them being really busy, you might have to potentially move around your plans at times, or even literally move locations at times. And that is something that is going to help your future. So you'll talk about it and hopefully allow yourselves to be flexible as those things come up in life. So this is also telling me and showing me emotional flexibility. So really yielding and submitting with no purpose. This is yielding and submitting without self-betraying yourself. This is about surrendering control without feeling you're giving anything up that you actually value. So this is a controlled surrendering, essentially. The strength that you're going to get from this relationship is truly emotional intelligence. I feel you guys are going to be able to work through a lot of different things together, whether it's emotional things, because again, the rose quartz is here, or physical things, quite literally because of the tough terrain that the polar bear has to go through. And even in business, I can see that because we have Capricorn here, we have a bunch of coins here, and also authority. So essentially, they could be business owners, they could be somebody that has a really difficult career. So if you have a relationship, a marriage with somebody that is a business owner, you're gonna have to be flexible. Sometimes date nights might be canceled, for example. Plans have to change because they need to get X, Y, and Z done. But this is somebody that's going to talk through these things. This is somebody that's going to keep you up to date and is emotionally available and vulnerable with you. So if you feel like, I feel like we've canceled the last 3 weeks of dates, this is somebody that's not going to shut you down or be avoidant. They're going to be able to tell you that they understand that this is a partnership and that they will make time for you. So it's all about that flexibility in this relationship here. So all in all, pile number 2, the one for you, is somebody that meets you with real love that is balanced, mutual, and grounded in effort, mutual effort. So this is a really emotionally mature partnership that I'm seeing on the table here. There is mutual attraction and choice here, which we see in the lovers, and also consistent effort over time. Also, there is going to be a lot of romance in this relationship that is still anchored in reality, because we have the Conqueror of Cups here as well. So what I'm seeing on the table is truly a love that lasts. I'm sensing that this person is going to be a love that sweeps you away and a love that stands beside you. So that is so lovely. I don't know how we could beat this pile. So congratulations to pile number 2. If you did enjoy this reading, make sure you give me a big like down below and comment down pile number 2 in the comments below to claim this reading, or tell me what you're most excited for in this reading. Love to see your comments. When you interact with the reading, you bring the energy closer to you, so make sure you interact below. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new pick a card tarot readings like this one every single week. So I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time, bye, pile 2. Hi, pile 3. If you chose the Carnelian heart, this is going to be your reading. Let's go ahead and get into your tarot cards first. We're getting the 4 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, lovely for a relationship reading, Queen of Pentacles, 8 of Swords, Page of Swords, ooh, and the 6 of Cups. Before we get into the tarot story, let's go ahead and talk about the Carnelian heart and why you may have chosen the Carnelian heart. If you chose the Carnelian heart, the one for you is deeply connected to self-worth, confidence, and learning how to feel safe being yourself in love. I sense that some of you potentially may have not really felt safe in love to be yourself. You were maybe potentially performing or trying to essentially be the good girl or good boy in a relationship. You can have that validation in love. However, this relationship is really going to encourage you to just be yourself, and it is attracted to who you truly are. The meaning of the Carnelian is actually all about vitality and life force, confidence and courage, emotional warmth, even pleasure, creativity, and joy. The Carnelian is connected to 2 chakras. It's the root chakra and the sacral chakra. The root chakra is all about our stability, our safety, and trust in life. And our sacral chakra is all about creativity, pleasure, desire, and emotional expression. So those are going to be themes in your relationship. There's also zodiac signs and planets that are connected to the Carnelian. The zodiac signs that Carnelian is connected to is Leo and Aries. You may have Leo or Aries in your chart, or the person you're attracting as the one may have Leo or Aries in their chart, which gives the energy of confidence, warmth, and self-expression. The Carnelian is connected to Mars, which is all about life force, courage, and action. This person probably has a lot of fiery energy. And when we're using the Carnelian heart for spiritual reasons, it's really good for releasing fear-based control. It really helps rekindle any joy that we have been missing after an emotional shutdown, and it helps soften our guardedness around love. You may be a little guarded at first when you meet this person, but they help soften that. This pile is really about opening up your heart again, not because you have to, but because you are finally ready to. When you finally feel ready, truly ready to meet the person, they will slowly enter your life. Let's go ahead and move on into the tarot story that I'm seeing here. So first things first, we have the 4 of Pentacles. This is Sun and Capricorn energy. This person could be good at saving money. They may be security minded. They may be a little bit conservative with the way that they spend money, because this is talking about those type of themes. And also on the shadow side, it talks about scarcity and control. They may be working through the feelings of scarcity and control, but this card is showing up and telling me that this is somebody that has learned how to protect themselves emotionally, financially, and energetically. They may have gone through certain things where their emotions have been tested, their finances potentially have been tested, and even general energy things may have been tested. This could show up as having a guarded heart at first. This could show up as fear of loss, whether that's material things or emotionally losing somebody. And this could also show up as control that was rooted in past instability. Even though we start off with the 4 of Pentacles here, I feel this is somebody that's actively working on these things and has learned from these things. Love here begins for this person when they start loosening the grip, not on money, but fear. The root chakra is where our stability comes from, and when you have money problems, it's typically about that sense of fear and the root chakra. Maybe that is why you picked this particular stone, and Maybe that is even your energy. All of these fears that I've been talking about, or having a guarded heart, you guys could be mirroring each other. But I do sense that you guys will work on it together, because we do have the Two of Cups next. The Two of Cups is Venus and Cancer energy, and it's very lovely energy. It talks about unified love, partnership, mutual attraction, and despite those walls that you guys might have, either one or both of you, true mutual love is absolutely possible for you, because these two people are mutually attracted to each other. You don't have to do any convincing or impressing this person. They are just naturally attracted to you. You might be their type and they might be your type just naturally. This is showing me emotional partnership and a mutual choosing of each other. This connection doesn't threaten your safety, it enhances it. You may not feel safe in the world or with finances, or they might not with that guarded heart, but when you guys come together, you guys feel safe with each other, which is beautiful to see. I actually just heard you guys are each other's safe place. That's nice to hear. Maybe they grew up in a situation where they didn't have a lot of money growing up, or you might not have had a lot of money growing up, and that creates this energy of almost fearing it, but you will both end up realizing that you have nothing to fear, because the Queen of Pentacles does come next. And this is showing me that there is a nurturing love here that is supportive, practical, and grounded in real life care. The Queen of Pentacles is Sagittarius and Capricorn energy. She is nurturing, she is practical, she provides financially, and she is a working parent. This is showing me that you are both very hard workers, and that even though you may have not come from anything, you're willing to work towards it. And this is something that you guys will work towards together. This is a person that is going to want emotional stability and material stability. It's giving provider energy. This person potentially has these feelings, but I'm also sensing that this person is somebody that's actually very good with finances. They just are on the cautious side. They'll always probably be on the cautious side, potentially because of how they grew up. However, even when they become very successful, they might still have that level of, well, we can't just blow it all. We have to be responsible with this, is the energy I'm seeing here. But with the Queen of Pentacles here, this is showing me that there is a love here that is shown through presence and consistency. The love that is coming into your life is going to show you love through actions and not promises. They're going to show you through physical things, tangible things, actions, and not just speaking in these things. Watch what people do, not what they say. All right, and we move on to the Eight of Swords now. The Eight of Swords is Jupiter in Gemini energy, and it does talk about themes of negative thoughts, self-imposed restrictions, imprisonment, and victim mentality. The biggest obstacle here in this love isn't the other person, it's the mind. This is all about the mind. The swords is the mind. This could be themes of self-doubt, old narratives, or even feeling like you're trapped by beliefs rather than reality. Again, I sense that maybe one or both of you came from not that much money in your childhood, and that might be an old narrative or self-doubt that comes up. And remember, I was just talking about, even if they become very successful, they're like, well, we can't blow this all, we have to be responsible. That's what I'm seeing here. The mind is really tricking them into thinking that they are not abundant. Maybe you will both try to help each other have an abundance mindset rather than a scarcity mindset. And this relationship is also asking you to evaluate your own mind and your own self-doubt. This relationship is going to ask you to free yourself, and they are also going to be asked to free themselves. This is all about doing an inner work and potentially even root and sacral chakra work, so you guys can be stable enough to achieve your goals without having all that scarcity energy in the relationship. Let's go ahead and move on. So we have the Page of Swords here as well. A new level of communication is going to enter the relationship. The Page of Swords is earth and air energy, and it's all about new ideas, curiosity, having a thirst for knowledge, and new ways of communication. This is a curious person, an honest person, and a person that has really fresh ways of thinking. With that energy, it's really positive, because you guys do come from a place potentially of having fears around money or scarcity. They're going to help you reframe any of those old stories, learning how to speak your needs, and really having mental flexibility as well, because the Page of Swords is really mentally flexible. This person is going to be interested in changing their mind about their old stories, and also changing your mind about old stories. You will see a lot of radical growth in this relationship, because you guys are going to be changing from a scarcity mindset to an abundant mindset. This love is really going to improve over time, and start to realize that you're able to manifest anything you want. And if you're always thinking in a scarcity conservative mindset, then you're going to find little weird things happening, because manifestation starts with the mind. Everything starts with the mind, actually. When you guys learn how to control the mind, which I see that you're interested in, you will be able to manifest a lot more abundance into your life. And then lastly, we do have the Six of Cups here, which is Sun and Scorpio energy, and it talks about revisiting the past, childhood memories, innocence, and joy. Potentially, this is what I meant by maybe your childhoods were steeped in scarcity and maybe you didn't grow up with a lot. There is some inner child healing when this card comes up. It is talking about maybe nostalgia of the past or childhood, familiarity between the two of you, and feeling safe with each other. This connection really brings a sweetness to it because the Six of Cups is a very sweet energy. It talks about joy, innocence, and emotional warmth. This is somebody that's going to make you feel very, very safe. Maybe you can heal your inner childs together, which is very sweet. And after a certain amount of time going through some difficult things together and realizing that a lot of your mentalities are skewed from potentially the past, your love is going to start feeling lighter again after you address those things with this person side by side. All right, so that's all I have for the tarot story. Let's go ahead and move on to your oracle cards and see if we can get any supporting energies here. All right, new moon in Sagittarius, focus on the positive. That is very, very in line with what I was talking about. I sense that you guys were thinking potentially the past, childhood, etc., and it gets you trapped up in your thoughts. As you can see, she's loosely tied. And swords represents the mind. So she's kind of blind to what it really is. And the full moon is, oh, there's two full moons. And this one's also swords. So you're really trying to work through those illusions and fears because the moon can represent things like illusion, fear, not really knowing things, not really seeing the truth, even having anxiety and working on subconscious things. I feel there's a lot of subconscious work that you guys have to do, and focusing on the positive is going to be very important. This card is symbolizing that your love life will improve as soon as you shift out of fear and into trust. The truth is, a lot of people think in a zero-sum game, such as if we're talking about resources and money, that they think that if that person has XYZ amount of money, then there's not enough for me. But that's not true because there's plenty of abundance to go around and everybody could be taken care of. You just have to believe and trust into that. The universe wants to give to you, but you have to change your thoughts and your mind and your emotion and think positively that you will be able to attract abundance in all different forms. You don't have to get money just from your job. There's a lot of different ways to make money. And this is something that Spirit really is trying to tell you and show to you. Focus on the positive and see how things change. Also with this card, it's really because it's a new moon as well. I'm sensing that there's going to be new beginnings, a lot of new beginnings in the relationship with the one for you. You will start new things, have a lot of cycles, a lot of good luck cycles, and especially when you guys are thinking positively and optimistically, expansion is going to come very rapidly in your lives. A manifestation theme here with the focus on the positive is just having that gratitude, because truly when you're grateful and you're joyful, that's a magnet. That's a magnet for more abundance to enter your life. Love and abundance is really going to flow to you when you expect good things and not disappointment. A lot of people have negative mindsets, scarcity mindsets, and they almost expect to be disappointed. And of course, if you're going to expect disappointment, then you're going to be disappointed. If you expect good things, then think positively and good things will truly happen. I've seen this in real life. I'm not just talking about it. The most positive people I know, good luck just happens in their life. It's just like they have good karma, and it's just uncanny. It's almost a destiny for them because they just have that faith, that unwavering faith. And Sagittarius is connected to Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about that optimism. I highly encourage you to focus on the positive. Be grateful for every little thing that happens to you throughout the day. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. We're getting Dragon, self-love, and empowerment. 25 here, 2 plus 5 is 7, so very spiritual number. I sense that you guys can both work on self-love and empowerment, and you might even be encouraging each other to love yourselves and empowering each other to realize that you both have such beautiful strengths, such beautiful positive things in your energy that you should love about yourself. This is something that Spirit is just trying to remind you that you're so powerful. This is telling me actually the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. As soon as you work on positive self-love and empowerment, you will attract healthy love into your life. This is giving me the energy of reclaiming your inner fire, having power through self-acceptance and self-confidence, and also making sure that your confidence is without any arrogance. So the one is going to end up mirroring the love that you finally end up giving yourself. I sense some of you don't really have a lot of self-love or are working on your self-love journey, and that is something that has been challenging for you. But as soon as you open yourself up to loving yourself as much as you love other people, as much as you love your idols, then you'll realize that love is all around you, and this person will mirror that back into your life. Let's go ahead and move on. We're getting child orphans. There's a lot of childhood themes and healing inner child themes coming up in this particular reading. With this card, it's saying light attribute independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. Shadow attribute says fear of abandonment that stifles maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. Okay, so that's very interesting. I do sense that this person or you might have very deep childhood wounds, which comes up again and again in the relationship and reading. When this comes up, this archetype really speaks to the feeling you had to grow up early or even potentially rely on yourself, which is why potentially you have that Four of Pentacles coming up, the scarcity mindset, the conservative mindset, the whole energy of what I was saying earlier of even if this person or you become very financially successful, that you think, well, we can't blow it all. Let's not blow it all. Let's not spend recklessly. We have to be responsible. That energy of having to be responsible probably comes from your childhood because you had to grow up too early and be responsible way too early. You didn't have much of a childhood potentially, or they didn't have much of a childhood potentially. But with the Six of Cups coming up here, I sense that you guys really bring out that childlike joy within the relationship. Really feeling innocent again, living out your childhoods in a positive way. Even if your childhood was tough, when you're with this person, it feels you're a child again, you don't have to worry much. With this card, the child orphan coming up, it's really giving me signals that there was potentially early emotional independence, a longing somewhere, and a theme of trying to learn throughout life that you don't have to do everything alone. There is people out there for you that is here to support you. The shadow aspect of this is really showing me searching for love to fill any old wounds. So that is something that maybe you or the other person or both of you is trying to heal right now. And this relationship is going to inspire you to heal it. The right love here is not going to replace your past or your hard childhood. It's just here to help you soothe it, which is so beautiful. You're both mutually going to help each other soothe these things. Maybe you even resonate. Maybe this is a major thing that you guys resonate on and connect on with the Two of Cups here. So maybe you have very similar childhoods. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We're getting the cat independence. Okay, hello. I feel like you guys had to grow up very, very independent throughout life. You, again, may have not really had a childhood that was just full of carefreeness. You may have truly had to go at it alone. Potentially, you moved out at 18. I'm sensing that for some of y'all, and just having to really fend for yourselves. Because cats, stray cats, they really have to fend for themselves. So that's what I'm getting here. On the other end, what I'm sensing with this card coming up is that you are both meant to keep a level of independence, even in this love, because both of you probably are very highly independent people. There is a level of healthy solitude here. And actually there's a black cat here. It's very magical. And what I'm sensing is you both have very strong intuition, and you're going to know that this is the relationship for you because there's just going to be so many signs. And also, with this card coming up, self-sufficiency is very important. However, you can be self-sufficient without isolating yourself, because the cats, sometimes they like to find a little corner, or they go into the bed and they just want to be alone. They like to be in the dark and stuff. They like to hide in closets, etc. So there is a level of, yes, be independent and have that healthy solitude, but you don't have to isolate yourself completely. The one for you is really going to respect your space and your autonomy, and also have open arms for you when you're feeling cuddly again. That's really what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and move on. We're getting Wild Rose Fairy Love. Oh my gosh. Isn't this pretty? Number 47 here, 4 plus 7 is 11. So either 11 as an angel number or number 2. Very harmonious. I really think you guys mirror each other. You probably are both very similar past, very similar childhood, very similar need for independence and solitude. And that's really giving the energy of maybe you both have a little bit of black cat energy and not really the whole black cat golden retriever thing. I think maybe potentially both of you give black cat a little bit, but that means that you guys will understand each other. There's a really level of understanding here with especially with the Two of Cups. You may mirror each other very, very much. With this card coming up, it's really showing me that this is going to be a true love that you've never really felt before, that you really feel seen because you have so many similarities. And the love that you're getting from this relationship is really going to help heal you, inspire you to heal, even if you don't fully see it at first, because you're going through things like the Eight of Swords and feeling mentally restricted of your own past, etc. But it is going to slowly heal you over time. This is giving me Aphrodite, Venus energy. It's giving me heart chakra healing. This is giving me divine reassurance. This person is going to cherish you as you are because they truly see inside you something that they see inside themselves as well. You are really already loved. This relationship just simply reflects it and mirrors it to you. Once you get into that self-love, you're going to realize love is all around you, like I mentioned earlier. And I really just sense that This love is healing, and that is a beautiful thing to see. Pile number 3, this is love that is going to help heal the inner child and support the healing of your inner child. There is mutual care here and safety. This is a relationship that's going to honor independence, not be threatened by your independence. Pile number 3, I really, really love this reading. I see that there is a really deep love here that's full of transformation, and I'm really rooting for you and wishing the best for you. Pile number 3, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this reading like I did, make sure you give me a big like down below and comment down below pile number 3 to claim this reading, or you could just tell me what you resonated with or are excited for about this reading in the comments. I love to hear your comments. When you interact with the reading, you bring the energy closer to you, so make sure you interact below. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new pick card tarot readings just like this one every single week. I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time, bye, pile 3. Hi, pile 4. If you chose the red Aventurine, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and get right into it. King of Wands, 3 of Swords, the Chariot, King of Swords. But did I say King of Wands? King of Wands, King of Swords, 2 of Swords, and the Empress. Okay, before we get into the tarot cards, let's talk about the red Aventurine and why you might have chosen the red Aventurine. If you chose the red Aventurine, the one for you is deeply connected to courage, healing old heartbreak, and learning how to lead with both strength and softness. The red Aventurine is all about vitality and motivation, courage after disappointment, emotional resilience, and a forward momentum after a stagnation. There's 2 chakras that this red Aventurine is connected to. It's the root chakra and the sacral chakra. The root chakra is all about our safety, our grounding, and our survival confidence, being able to get through things and survive things. And the sacral chakra is all about that passion, emotion, desire, creativity, and emotional flow. This relationship is going to help you with those things. And for zodiac signs and planets, the red Aventurine is connected to Aries and Leo, which is giving the energy of leadership, confidence, and boldness. And the planet that the red Aventurine is connected to is Mars. This is really going to be a relationship that is full of action, drive, and courage. Encouraging movement after a heartbreak, which we can see here. This love is not about avoiding pain. It's learning how to stay open after having pain in your life. That is the crystal portion of the video. Let's go ahead and get into the tarot storyline about who is the one for you. We start off strong with the King of Wands here. This connection is going to begin with a very strong attraction. There's confidence, charisma, and passion here. The King of Wands is Scorpio and Sagittarius energy, very fire energy. There's a lot of energy in this person. They are passionate. They like to take inspired action. They like adventures, and they might be even a little bit impulsive. With that being said, they have natural leader energy. They also have sexual magnetism and creative magnetism. They are somebody that likes to continuously be forward moving and have an adventurous spirit. With that being said, we move on to the 3 of Swords. With this person being so fiery, I sense that in a way they can be quite blunt and try to encourage you to get through things. I just heard literally, well, what are we going to do about it? Essentially, if you're telling them about emotional pains that you've potentially been through in the past, they want to do something about it. Again, with that forward moving energy of the Knight of Wands, they want to fix it and move forward. We also have the Chariot right next to it. This is also talking about willpower and determination. This person has a lot of willpower to get through things. And the 3 of Swords is actually Saturn and Libra energy. It does talk about heartbreak, emotional pain, sorrow, grief, and hurt. Any type of heartbreak, pain that you've gone through, there's a potential with this card that past heartbreaks that you've had before this relationship, they still echo in your love life. This person that you're meeting, that is the one, is trying to be patient with you, but they're also like, what are we going to do about it? You might have gone through in the past emotional betrayal or grief. You may have lingering disappointment about your past, and you might have learned lessons in a hard way regarding relationships in the past. This person wants you to move forward and may not fully want to connect with you until you're willing to move forward. This connection is really shaped by what you have survived and not what you have avoided. Maybe potentially you wanted to avoid things, but something about this relationship with this person brings it up, and they really want you to keep pushing. I really heard keep pushing, 444 on the clock as I say that. Remember when I said this, you wanted a savior? However, this person's kind of blunt, so they're like, nah girl, you gotta save yourself. They see you as this, you're the Empress. What are you gonna do about it? Let's go forward. Come on, I know what happened to you. Let's go, let's move it. Let's move. That's the energy I'm getting, because the Chariot is here And the chariot is connected to water and Cancer energy. And I know we think, oh, Cancer is all soft. No, actually, a determined Cancer, one that's not in their feelings, is going to be full of control, willpower, success, action. They want to achieve things. They're very determined people. And actually, they do like victory and they like the journey. So we have Cancer messed up. The Cancers I know, if they have their mindset on something, they're going to do it. They get the most done. So this person has a lot of forward energy and they really want you to, I just heard get it together, because also the King of Swords is here and he has a lot of authority. He has a mental clarity, so he's going to speak very directly. At least we didn't get the Queen of Swords here, so that's definitely not you. I think that he's just trying to get you to become better. Okay, so the Chariot is really telling me that he wants to have you regain control over your life here, emotionally and energetically. You're leaking energy towards any past hurts and pains, and I'm sensing that this person is going to tell you that very bluntly. And at first, maybe you don't like it and it hurts more, but over time, you're gonna get used to this person's way of speaking and realize that they're actually trying to help you. So this is all about direction after chaos and choosing growth over stagnation. This is really talking about a victory through self-mastery. So this person wants to master yourself, master your emotions, master your energy, stop leaking your energy out. I don't know why my authoritative talk has just heightened, but I feel like that's the energy of this person. It's almost like a father figure energy. So this person is telling you that you are not to let pain steer the wheel anymore, okay? You're gonna heal. You're gonna heal. You're letting healing take the wheel at this point. This person just wants you to get past those things. Now we can talk fully about the King of Swords here. The King of Swords is talking about Capricorn and Aquarius energy. So the King of Swords is all about mental clarity, intellectual power, very smart individual here, authority and truth. So with this card coming up, it really shows me that this person is going to help you with your clarity, is going to talk to you honestly, truthfully, and have very strong communication, even though it comes off brutal or harsh at times. I think that other people in your life, maybe your girlfriends, kind of sugarcoat things for you and let you rant on and on and on and vent on and on and on. But this person is going to really bring that truth, hammer down that truth. So they have very clear boundaries and they are respected intellectually in their friend group, their peers, their workplace. So they really bring that energy into the relationship as well. And this person is also emotionally mature through having very strong discernment. So this is a relationship that I'm seeing on the table here that really values truth over fantasy, because sometimes the past and dwelling on the past is a fantasy. It is no longer in your life. You're safe now. Even though the past emotional pain or heartbreak could be very deep, you're in a better place now because it's over and you actually have another relationship trying to present itself to you. And with you bringing up any past things, past heartbreaks, it gets in the way of the relationship. So what I'm getting out of here, I just heard I'm feeling you. So he really likes you. He's feeling you. However, he's like, why are you, get over it almost with this other stuff. And also, why are you telling me? I'm sorry, that's harsh, but that's literally the energy that I'm getting. So maybe what's best is for you to continue venting to other people and not potentially to this person. Talking about your ex-partner to your new partner is never a good move. So I definitely think that the person is going to communicate that to you because they have very clear boundaries. So let's go ahead and move on to the Two of Swords now. With this person's very direct way of communication and clear boundaries, you may hesitate here because a part of you weighs if it's even safe to open up your heart again because you've been hurt before and this person's telling you very bluntly about how they feel. It makes you wonder if they're a safe person, but the truth is they are. They're trying to get you to move forward. They want you to stop avoiding things, stop protecting your heart too much, and stop fearing that you're choosing wrong. They want you to be decisive because this King of Swords is actually a very decisive king. The Two of Swords is Moon and Libra energy, indecisive energy here. Difficult decisions. This also talks about weighing up options, coming to a point of impasse, and even avoidance. With this card coming up, it's really showing me that when you take a pause, it isn't weak to pause and reassess things. It's really a moment for you to gain and realize that wisdom that it's okay for you to trust again. Are you really going to go through life not trusting anyone ever again because you went through some past heartbreak? The truth is we've all gone through heartbreak. That's the truth. Whether it is a romantic relationship, whether it is a loss of a friendship, literally anything. So people can have heartbreaks because they had a bad childhood, which is very common as well. So are you really going to let any of those things that have happened to you in the past cause you to be emotionally avoidant, protecting your heart, guarding your heart, and never trusting anybody again and going about the world not trusting anybody? Because that's not good for anybody. And I think that is what this king is trying to teach you, trying to show you that you are the empress and you are able to love again. Okay, you're able to soften again. trust again, etc. So let's go ahead and move on to the Empress actually. So this is Venus and Earth energy. The Empress is all about femininity, beauty, nature, nurturing, abundance, generosity, and creativity. So this is a positive energy. I think this is the way the person sees you and why they were attracted to you in the first place. So they don't really like seeing you down and out, stuck in your thoughts. They don't like that. So they are going to tell you that. And so they're really going to encourage you to realize that your love and the love that's in your life, whether it's the relationship with them or your friendships, your family, whatever, love is going to soften again through forgiving the past, nurturing yourself, engaging in creativity, being warm, and realizing that abundance is all around you. So all of these things are present in your life and available for you, so long as you look at those things rather than looking at the past. So it's almost, I just saw somebody trying to walk on a journey and a path, which is the chariot going forward, right? However, they're turned around. Their head is turned around, but they're trying to walk forward. So that's the energy here of trying to look at these past heartbreaks when you have a very authoritative person that is very forward thinking, trying to present something to you, trying to build something with you. However, it's like you realize his value, you think about your heartbreak. He's trying to get you to move on. He's showing you positive things. You're stuck because you're trying to walk forward, meeting somebody new, looking back. So they're trying to teach you who you really are. Remember who you really are. Have that confidence in yourself again. So this is divine feminine energy. They want you to tap into your divine feminine energy and feel emotionally safe with them in your life by yourself, being able to stand on your own 2 feet. And this is a love that truly begins to grow over time instead of overwhelming you. I think past loves that you might have really have overwhelmed you and caused a lot of pain in your life, regrets, failure, and disappointment even. So they're trying to get you past that. And they're trying to make you realize that you're strong, you're able to get through things, and that's where love is really going to flourish. So that's all I have for the tarot story portion of the video. Let's go ahead and move on to the oracle cards for supporting energies. New moon in Cancer, relax, girl. I could have said that. I feel like you spaz. Like there's a bit of spaz energy sometimes where just maybe emotional vomiting, telling this person your story, and he's like, I don't care. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's just like more, what are we gonna do about it? How are we gonna move forward? That's how men are. That's how they speak. That's how they are. They're like, let's move forward. Let's keep moving forward. So there's an energy of needing to relax here. Even though you, again, have gone through that heartbreak or emotional pain, sorrow, grief, hurt, this is a tough card. However, when you're walking and moving forward, stop looking back. It's time to, you can journal. You can think about this situation. You can still have the pain, but we need to work through those pains. Like we can't linger in that pain. So with this card coming up, the new moon in Cancer. Oh, also new moon's a great time to rest, relax, and release. Also the full moon, good time to release. So this card is really assuring you that you're supported, you are protected, and you are safe to soften and forgive. So I know it's tough. You're like, oh, you're telling me to forgive whoever broke my heart? Yes, I am. The forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. So this is a divine feminine guidance here. There is a level of this new person, the one that's for you, feeling like family, feeling like home, giving you emotional nourishment. Even though they're quite a straight shooter, they're trying to help you. Then the way that they nurture you is through power, is through trying to assert a self-confidence in you. So this is giving me themes of self-care and emotional gentleness. Like maybe take a bath. Girl, maybe take a bath. Maybe take a bath, take a yoga class, do something that's helpful for you rather than like all in the mind, because these are mind cards. Remember, the swords are always minds. So he, being the King of Swords, is trying to cut through any of that difficulty that you're having with your mind, because he's very mentally clear. That's what the King of Swords represents. So with that being said, this love is not going to force you though. He's going to try to help, but you need a lot of safety here. You need a feeling of relaxation and safety. So providing that for yourself is going to be important as well. And communicating your needs is important too. So let's go ahead and move on. Oh, was I not literally just talking about this? So number 11, 1 + 1 is 2, is a balancing number, and dear, gentleness, heart, intelligence. So even though this person seems to be fiery and quite direct, you do need a level, oh, this is Cancer and this is Cancer. So you do need that level of gentleness and like nurturing care. So you can tell this person, because I sense you bring a lot of that energy. So you can tell him, however, people have different strengths is what I'm seeing here. So maybe you attracted this because you're so emotional. I'm really sensing that you're very, very emotional, and you also surround yourself with girlfriends potentially that kind of just sugarcoat things to you. You're a sugar cookie. I'm getting sugar cookie, and that's okay, but not every situation is going to get better by sugarcoating gentleness. Some of that's good, but at some point you are going to need to move forward. So with this card coming up, the deer, it's really showing me that this relationship is potentially asking you to keep your gentleness and your softness. However, also being strong is important. There's a heart-centered wisdom coming off of this card. So I feel like this person also has good intentions when they're telling you these things. There's also a theme of you being able to be emotionally sensitive with the Cancer cards here, but not being fragile. So you're giving a little bit of the energy of fragile. Like, can I talk to this person this way? Okay, you gotta ask yourself, if people in your life only can talk to you by sugarcoating and being gentle with you, are you able to handle a more direct way of speaking if this person really has your best interest in heart? If not, then there is a level of fragility that maybe needs to be addressed. And also, this card is giving me the energy of listening to any intuitive nudges that you're getting throughout songs, movies, shows. You can even hear two people talking on the street. You're getting signs, even readings that are nudging you towards becoming more strong while keeping your gentleness and your softness. And honestly, even though the Empress is all about that beauty, femininity, nurturing, she is soft and compassionate. However, it's the Empress. Like, you're not going to F with Empress at the end of the day. She is also strong enough to stand on her own 2 feet. I think that's what this person is going to be teaching you over time. So let's go ahead and move forward. We got the archetype gossip. Light attribute says awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. And the shadow attribute says thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. So maybe you're the gossip. Maybe they're the gossip. I don't really think it's them. So I feel like when you're telling these old stories, is like a level of gossip, or maybe that they perceive it as gossip. So maybe that's why they're a little bit more shutting things down with you. So maybe this is not past romantic heartbreak. Maybe you won't bring your past relationship into a new relationship, but maybe you're just telling them past pains that you've gone through with friendships or whatever, and they're just trying to tell you to move forward. So with this card, it's also showing me that there is a lesson here around truth, integrity, and emotional discretion. So this person, or you, with this gossip archetype is really showing that there's a need of protecting emotional privacy here and not letting outside voices pollute the inner intimacy that you have in this relationship, and really being able to choose trust consciously. So the shadow aspect here of the gossip is oversharing and letting other people's opinions influence your own decision making. Just be wary of those shadow things. And honestly, this love is going to thrive when it's protected from outside noise. So be careful of gossip when dealing with this relationship. This person probably is not going to tolerate it very well. So let's go ahead and move forward. We're getting the raccoon resourcefulness. So this may be a really resourceful person, also has a lot of resources. So I'm sensing that this person doesn't like to do things like petty gossip and talk about past things. They're a forward, action-oriented person that likes to move forward. So they're very, very, again, resourceful. So they don't really see a point. This person may never really, I'm not saying they don't open up and tell you things. I just don't think that they like dwell. I don't really think they dwell on things. They don't feel better about gossiping about their own lives, other people, etc. So it's just something that you're gonna have to cut it out. I heard cut it out. So honestly, with this card coming up, it's telling me that you're capable of adapting, even when the love here feels a little bit complicated, because they are different than you. Look, okay, let me put it this way. If you were to attract somebody that was just as emotionally sensitive as you, always allowing you to talk endlessly about your heartbreak, just so soft, are you going to get out of it? The truth is, are you going to get out of it if no one ever tells you anything but sweet things? The truth never comes up. So, I mean, you might have clicked out of this video already because I feel like I've been kind of straight shooting here. So it's for your benefit. This is really giving me also the sign that this person with a chariot here is having creative problem solving for you. They may give you ideas of how to heal the situation and how to make the best of the emotional circumstances that you were given in life. Because again, we've all gone through emotional heartbreak. Okay, we've all gone through emotional pain. We've all had some type of grief. We've all been hurt. So they're trying to tell you all these resources potentially that they've done to get past those emotional circumstances that they've been through. So they just believe in you and they want you to use your intelligence, use your strength to get past these things. So this relationship is really going to teach you how to work with your reality and not against it. What do I mean by that? again, with the walking in a line forward but looking back, that's you working against your journey, literally. So you have to realize where you're at in life, what you've gone through, and realize that you're strong enough to get past it and keep moving on. Let's go ahead and move on. Owl Spirit Wisdom, number 27 is 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 is the number of completion. So I sense that this is a very important relationship to you because it's going to be your final one. This is the one for you. And potentially, maybe you did have relationships where you were with only other people that were very gossipy, emotionally gentle type of people, where maybe you just trauma dump on each other all day, honestly. And what this card is showing me is that this person has a lot of wisdom in their life. They're forward-thinking people, and that is showing me that they want you to complete the cycle of anything that has happened in the past so you can move forward, and they will give you practical wisdom for you to move forward. So they also show you your own wisdom. You know more than you think you know. You have a deep intuition, and you're able to see the truth in the darkness that you've gone through. And this is all about the energy of integrating your light and your shadow. So your shadow is any past hurts and heartbreaks. However, you don't have to be stuck in that. You can take your lessons from it and integrate it with the positive side of you. Don't let the negative things that have happened to you turn you dark. There's no point. Literally, there's no point in revisiting the past, looking back, having all these disappointments. It's just going to stop your life from moving forward. And we don't have time for that. Okay, we don't have time for that. So the one for you isn't going to be one that contributes to your confusion, because if they were to sugarcoat, if they were to allow you to keep talking about things and revisit the past, that's going to confuse you. Okay, so this person is going to help clarify your life. Again, the King of Swords is all about the mental clarity. So they really want you to have a lot of mental clarity in your own life and be able to get there on your own with or without them, to be honest. So pile number 4. The one for you is a connection that transforms your pain into wisdom and really shows you the importance of strength and softness. I sense that you're a very soft person. However, it's really important to have strength as well. So this is a relationship that's full of passion and emotional maturity. This is a love that comes in after heartbreak. This is a truth-driven communicator as the person that is your one, and you're going to end up teaching this person that gentleness is also a power. So this person has a fiery power, you have gentleness as your power, and this is going to merge, and intuition is already guiding you forward. So neither of you are going to lose your fire in this love. You're going to learn how to interact with each other so both of you can learn from each other. This person's fire may tone down into a gentle warmth, and your softness, your gentleness is going to turn into strength through their fire. So this is a very beautiful reading, even though it's a little more emotionally intense and potentially a little harsh because of the theme here. But I really do have a lot of hope for you, pile number 4. I do think that you have the willpower to be successful in your journey. So that's all I have for you today, pile 4. If you like this video, make sure you give me a big like down below. And of course, comment down pile 4 to claim this reading, or just tell me what you enjoyed about this reading or what you resonate with. I'd love to see your comments. When you interact with a reading, you pull the energy closer to you, so make sure you interact below. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I post new pick a card tarot readings just like this one every single week, so I hope to see you here again soon. Until next time, bye, pile 4.